I'm doing the New York cheesecake. This recipe dates back 4,000 years, back to ancient Greece. It was first created in the island of Samos. Back then it was used as a wedding cake and just as, just an island specialty. Back then though, they only used like flour, wheat, honey, and cheese. Nothing. Back then they didn't have the same ingredients, or they didn't use the same ingredients that we use today. Like today we use cream cheese, we use eggs, we use butter. There's just a lot of different things that they didn't have that we use today. Athenius was credited as the first person to write down a recipe, a Greek cheesecake recipe in 230 AD. Greeks had already been using this recipe for 2,000 years, but he was the first one to be credited with this recipe. Romans got a hold of this recipe after they conquered the Greeks, and they made it their own. They modified it by using crushed cheese and eggs. They cooked it under a hot brick, and they served it warm, unlike the Greeks, and today we serve it cold, and they called it lumbuma. The ingredients needed for this recipe are 1 3/4 cups of honey-made graham cracker crumbs, 1/3 cup of butter, melted, 1 1/4 cup of sugar divided, 4 packages of cream cheese at room temperature, 1 cup of sour cream, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 3 eggs. The first thing you want to do is preheat your oven to 350. So the first thing I'm going to do, I need 1 1/4 cups of the graham cracker crumbs. This we're using as our crust for the bottom of the cheesecake, and you just put it on the bottom of the pan. What I do to make my graham cracker crust is I'm going to put my graham crackers in here. I do 1/4 cup of sugar, and I have to melt this butter. So to melt it, you just put it in a microwave safe container, and you melt our 1/3 cup of butter in the microwave. So I'm going to put our melted butter into our bowl and mix it all together. So you just want to make it so it's well combined, just as you see here. It's a little bit darker, and it just, everything is mixed together. So the pan that you use for making a cheesecake is a springform pan. It has this little buckle, so once you're done cooking it, you just unhook it, and so you can just take it right off so it doesn't damage the cheesecake. But what you do with the graham crackers is you take it and you put it in. And what you want to do is press onto the bottom of it, so then it goes up the edge of the springform pan a little bit, and you press against here all the way around. So you want to make it so the graham cracker is completely evenly distributed, and once it's evenly distributed, we're good. So the next thing we're going to use is the KitchenAid stand mixer. You can get them pretty much anywhere. They run anywhere from $250 if you can get them on sale to $350 base model. That's before you add any other special attachments like different bowls. You can make pasta with it, so if you get a pasta attachment, that's obviously going to be extra. It comes with 3 attachments, just the regular wire whisk, the bread hook, and the one we'll be using today, just the standard mixer tool you can use to blend things. So the first step in making our cheesecake filling is taking all of your cream cheese and putting it in the mixer. There are 4 containers of cream cheese in here. And then you take your 1 cup of sugar and you put that in there. You close your mixer and you lock it. And you put it on a very slow speed just so it gets blended. So the next step is to add our 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And after you add the vanilla, you want to add your sour cream. And the mixer just blends it all together so nicely. So the next thing we want to do is add our 3 eggs. And you want to add them one at a time, so after you add each egg, you want to put it back down and blend it and let the one egg blend thoroughly. So then I'll go back. So I just added my second egg. I'm going to lock it again and let that blend. And then I'll go back for the third time and add my third egg. And the last thing to add to the mixture is the 2/3 cups of heavy whipping cream. Now most recipes don't call for this, but my great-grandmother's recipe does. So now I'm going to take my crust that we had prepared before, and I'm going to pour the mixture into this pan. So now we're going to pour our mixture into our pan. Just want to make sure that it's poured evenly throughout. And then just take a silicone spatula like I have right now and just get the remainder out of the bowl. So then we put the timer on for 1 hour and 10 minutes. So the timer's on, and the tin that is under the cheesecake is called a bain-marie, and that's what helps prevent it from cracking. And while we're waiting the 1 hour and 10 minutes for our cheesecake to bake, we're just going to clean all the stuff that we have. And once it's been 1 hour and 10 minutes, you let the cheesecake sit in the oven for 1 hour to cool off.